Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast, or if it's your first time, welcome. I'm super excited that you're here. Well, it's the end of November and we are well and truly into the holiday swing here in Australia. The streets are decorated, shopping centres are decorated. Every single place I go with my little one, she points out the Christmas trees and has to see them and touch them. There's lots of sale signs coming out, and it's definitely taking me longer to find a park near the shops. But you know what? It's great. I love this time of the year, even though we are now in Tasmania and all of our family are still either on the mainland or in Europe. I do really look forward to, in a way, this silly season. I am grateful, though, that I have an online business that is seemingly not really affected by the holiday madness. I do get like an uptake in terms of my clients wanting to run more ads. So I'm busier, but my products and services aren't particularly seasonal or affected by the Christmas frenzy. But yours might be different. You may have thought about Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising in the lead up to Christmas, but then reconsidered because it might be busy online. And you're right. And that's what I want to talk about today. Let's look at what will happen to the cost of Facebook ads and Instagram ads heading into the holiday season and why this shouldn't stop you from advertising. So point number one, ad costs will increase. And they most certainly will increase. It's normal in an economy based on supply and demand. And the demand for ad space will go up as more business owners want to advertise their products and services, especially at this time of the year. And the supply will be limited because Facebook and Instagram only has so much newsfeed space to offer. So that is just the way it is. Over the past year, the ad space has already gotten increasingly busier, and that isn't changing. It's just getting busier and busier. It just means that you have to get better at advertising, better at building a connection with your audience and getting really sharp with your targeting. So costs will go up, but knowing what you're doing with ads will really help your advertising game. Number two, more competitive. Well, there has been a trend of the ad space in general, Facebook and Instagram ad space, becoming more busier over the past few years. More businesses are starting to reap the rewards from Facebook ads. So it's going to get busier. If it works, more people will do it, right? And as I said in the previous point, Facebook only has a certain amount of real estate or space in the newsfeed. And if we're all competing to be seen, especially during a time where everyone has sales and trying to sell for Christmas, it's just mayhem. It is competitive. So we really need to know what we're doing. Number three is the end of year rise. So as businesses ramp up their advertising for the end of the year, you will likely see an increase in cost and more competition. Somewhere between October and early January is when things usually go up. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't advertise. It means that you need to be aware of it and be smarter with your ads and your targeting. And what will help you even more is if you've been advertising during the year and you've built up a solid and loyal following on your social media as well as on your website and on your email list. So your pixel has lots of traffic, your social accounts have had lots of engagements, you've grown your email list, that will help you with your advertising, especially to your warm and your loyal followers. So even though ad costs may go up during this time of the year, and they will really, the groundwork you've done during the year will set you apart. So why should you not let all of this stop you from advertising? Well, number one, it's the most cost-effective way to reach your audience. So Facebook ads and Instagram ads are still the most cost-effective way to advertise your business and your products. So traditional forms of advertising are great. I love it, but you simply don't have the flexibility and the data collection that you have with Facebook ads. So with Facebook ads, you can switch them on and off. If it's not working, you get lots of data that will give you a real-time snapshot of your performance. And look, things are a little bit wonky with the data at the moment, especially since Apple rolled out their iOS, first 14 and then 15. So it is not as accurate, but we can still get a lot of data. I can still look at campaigns, my client campaigns, and say, okay, well, that one's actually working up until this point. And then I look at Google Analytics to see what is converting to sales. So we still get lots of data from it. Well, I don't actually recommend trying your first ad during the holiday season unless you have a product or a service that already converts organically and has a proven sales record. And it also helps if you have an established audience who knows you and your product. If you don't have that, if you're starting from absolute scratch, I don't think the holiday season is the right time to start with ads. So Facebook can really help you amplify your sales during the holiday season, but it can't fix a sales problem. And if you are starting from scratch, it is almost hard to benchmark against the data that you collect during this time. So have a look at that. Also, number two, you are helping your ideal audience. So you really shouldn't stop the costs from advertising, because you are getting in front of your ideal audience who absolutely needs your product or your service if you've done your homework and you've created something that people really want and need. So don't hide it from them because the ads might be more expensive. Share your work and attract your ideal audience. It's a really good opportunity to get in front of your ideal client, to start building a connection and a relationship with them. I always say it's never too early or too late to start building a relationship with your audience. So starting now is perfect. Number 3 reasons to not let it stop you from advertising is to know your numbers. And this is always important. And I talk about this a lot, but during this time, it is extremely important to know your numbers so that you always know if you're still running profitable ads. And the aim is, of course, to spend less on your ads and make money from what you're selling. So be vigilant in checking in so that you're not up for any surprises. As long as you're making more than you're spending, you're doing extremely well. And I think you should keep going. And it's important not to be wasting money, but it is also important to look at it as a part of your ad strategy, as building a relationship with your audience. So yes, we need to be making money, but a part of your strategy also needs to be building that relationship and that engagement. So you may not see sales from that directly, but if you're getting lots of engagement, people are really clicking through, they're really getting into the ads, you're not doing badly, you're building a relationship. So a quick recap. Now you know that ad costs will most likely rise over the holiday period, but this shouldn't be a reason not to advertise. Be aware of your numbers and focus on helping your ideal audience. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful and I can't wait to share more with you next week. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure you visit newschoolofmarketing.com to download practical free resources, plus subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Until next time, take care and market your business every day.